Hi everyone, so welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a fun one. I thought it would be kind of fun to share with you the baby names that I love but won't be using. I've seen some of these on YouTube recently, especially when I was trying to figure out the name or names for my little girl, and I found a name that is not very common. Actually, I've never met anybody with this name. Neither has my husband or any of our very close friends and family. They've never met anyone with this name, so I feel like I found a very unique name. And I wanted to share with you guys some of the names that I had on the list that were potentials for this little girl. And I also have a few boy names, so I thought I'd throw those in just as a why not type of thing, because for the first several weeks, I didn't know what I was having. I had a gut feeling that it was a girl. So my girl name list is quite long. And I'm not going to get into too many details of why I chose a name. Just kind of quickly go through some of the names that I like. So as you may know by now, if you've watched any of my pregnancy vlogs, which some cards will pop up throughout the video if you're interested in those, or my gender reveal, I am having a little girl. So I have a very long list of girl names and I have very few for boys, so I think I'm going to do the boy names first because it's quite a short list. I even have a set of names for twin girls because I had a dream that I was having twins, and this was before I found out that I was having a girl, before I found out that I was only pregnant with a singleton, which is one baby. I thought that maybe that the reason why I was so sick in the beginning, like incredibly sick, I've never felt like that ever in my life. It had to have been because I was with twins and my HCG level was through the roof. But no, it's just one baby. So for boy names, I have a few. I like some names that are classic names, and I also like things that are a little bit different and unique. So the first name on my list, my number one pick, is Hunter. I like the name Hunter. I have always liked that name. It's not a name that my husband is quite on board with, so luckily it's not a boy. But I do like that name. I think it sounds nice, and I think I've only met someone that had a son with the name Hunter once before, but it's not a name that I keep running into when I meet people or when I'm out somewhere. I don't ever hear people say, Hunter, come here, or call them their kids. So I don't know if it's unique. Maybe I'm just not hearing it too much. The next one is Jacob. My husband really likes this one. This is his number one pick. And that I've heard before as well, and that's a common name. The other one is Liam. I like Liam. I also like William, which is where I kind of came up with Liam. Both of the names are on the top list, but my cousin's stepdad is William, so I feel like that kind of messed it up there. But I like the name William because it's a very strong name, and it's like very regal, kind of. I think just because of the royal family, maybe. But I like Liam. I think that's a shorter version that's really cute and something that's easy for people to say. I don't think that people will mess it up, which is another thing. I wanted a name that cannot get messed up by anybody, because I don't want my kids growing up with names that people mispronounce or that they will be made fun of, because kids can be mean. The next name on my boys list is Jackson. I don't know, but every time I say Jackson, it sounds nice, and it's on my list. The next one is Mason. I've heard of this before. This is another common name. Mason is really cute. It's easy to say and to spell. I think it'll be easy for a little boy to learn how to spell his name. Mason is not that difficult to learn. Also, Leo, L-E-O, is also a nice name. I like it. I heard of it on Grey's Anatomy. If you've been keeping up with the latest season, there's a baby in the mix named Leo, and I think that's kind of where that sort of sparked that. And then my last boy name is Lennox. I don't know why, but it sounds nice. It has a nice tone to it. It's different. I've personally never met anybody with the name Lennox, and it's nice. I think that also could be quite unisex in a way. I could try to envision a little girl with the name Lennox, and you can call her Lenny for short, or Len for short. I don't know. Lennox. It sounds kind of nice. Okay, so for my girl name list, there's quite a bit of girl names on here. And for these girl names, I wanted I thought I wanted something very classic. So a lot of these are very classic names that are very common. Some of them are extremely common, and that's kind of what deterred me from having that specific name for my little girl, because I didn't want for her to have a specific name and then have two others in her class with the same name. And like an example, one of the names on my list is Sophia. That is a very, very common name. I have it with spelled with PH. You can have it FIA at the end or PHIA. So I have a PHIA. So Sophia is really, it's nice. It has a nice sound to it, but it's also very common. I also really love the name Grace. I have always loved the name Grace. So it might be a potential for baby number 3, possibly, if it's a girl, Grace. I think it's nice. It's short, it's sweet. It's a name that I could see, and the name that I picked for my little girl is a name that is, you can look at a newborn little girl, something so small and precious, and see her with that name. But when I envision her as a woman, I can also see her with this name. That's what I wanted. I didn't want anything too girly, or not too girly, but too, I don't know. It's just something that wouldn't be fitting as an adult woman. So I wanted something that I could envision her in all stages of her life with this name. And I think she's really going to like it. I hope so, because she's kind of stuck with it. The next name is Melania. And we all know the first lady is Melania, but I've always liked that name as well. For the last couple of years, my mom said that's the Spanish version of Melanie. So I like Melania, and I like Milana, so Milana, Milana. Those two names, I personally have never met anybody with that name. Of course, like I said, the first lady is Melania, but beyond that, I've never heard anybody with that name as well. So those were two that I really like. The next one is Charlotte. I love the name Charlotte. I think it's so sweet and so cute, and I can see it again for a little baby, but I can also see it for a grown woman having it as well. One of my cousin's baby, she's just precious. Her name is Charlotte, so I think for that reason I wouldn't use that name, but my husband also likes the name. Another name that I like that my husband also likes is Samantha. It has just this nice kind of sound, Samantha, and you can call her Sam if she wants Sammy. I don't know, I like the name Samantha. I think it's really pretty. The next one is Scarlett. That's also quite common. I have heard it. It's also very common on the top baby names. Like if you Google the top 100 baby names, I'm pretty sure Scarlett, Charlotte, Grace, Sophia, they're all going to come up on those lists. So that's, again, another reason why I didn't choose these names. But they're beautiful names. The next one is Harper. This one I like. Not as much as some of the other ones. I would rather have Samantha or Charlotte versus Harper, but I do like the way it sounds. The next name is also, it's one, I think it was my husband's number 1 pick, Bella, but it is so freaking common. And just beyond being common for little girls, it's a very common name for people to name their dogs. So when that thought crossed my mind, I was just like, no, there's just no way, because my sister wants to name her future dog Bella. She's always talked about it. There was a movie that recently came out, and they did a preview, and guess what? The dog's name is Bella. So I just looked at my husband. I gave him the look in the theaters, and he just knew. He was like, okay, obviously that's not going to work, but it's cute. So if your name is Bella, it's a pretty name. I just wouldn't choose it for my daughter. I like Isabella. I don't know. That's kind of where I thought, Isabella, the I just starts the same with my son's name and my husband's name. They both have I's, so I thought if we're going to keep the I theme or whatever, kind of Isabella, but then again, no, it's not really my top one. So the next name on my list is Adeline. I think it's pretty, it's beautiful. I think it's got this nice little ring to it, and I think that's kind of the more common things with these names. They have rings to them that I like, sounds. But then when I told my husband, he's like, Adeline? Like the Sprint commercial, add a line? And I'm like, really? How do we go from baby names to talking about cell service? So he kind of messed that up for me, so I would not use Adeline. I think it's really pretty, though. I think it still sounds quite nice. The next one is Natalie or Natalia. Natalia, I think it might be Italian, but Natalie is the English version of it. think it sounds really nice, and it's pretty. Natalie, you can call her Nat. I don't know about Nat, because I think of fruit gnats, like, you know. So this is where my mind goes when I think of these names, and when I get those thoughts, I'm like, okay, it's just obviously not going to make it. And that was one of my very last names. I have 2 more names on here. I have Vivian. I like the name Vivian. It sounds very strong, Vivian. The more I kept saying it, the more I felt like it wasn't the right fit for my little girl. And I think it's pretty, and that's why it's still on my list, but I don't know. It didn't make the cut. And then my last name, before I get into the twin names, is Phoenix. It's different. I've never met anybody personally with the name Phoenix, and my husband's like, that's weird. And I thought, you know, it's different, and I wanted her to have a different name, but maybe not so different where people are like, okay, really? What's the thought process behind Phoenix? And then, of course, recently, I think over the last maybe 2 seasons, one of the housewives on Beverly Hills Housewives, which is the only housewife show I keep up with, her daughter's named Phoenix. And it's cute, and I like the way it sounds, but it didn't fly with my husband, so unfortunately it won't be used. So those are all my girl names. Now, twins, I had a dream that I was having twins, and I thought, if I have twin girls, what would I name them? And I kept thinking, I wanted something that kind of goes together. So for twin girls, I have Ava and Belle. So Ava, A-V-A, and then Belle, B-E-L-L-E. And when you translate that, it means beautiful life. So I thought, you know, with the struggles of getting pregnant and, you know, the complications that we had at the beginning of the pregnancy, and even still to now, even though, you know, my induction date is right around the corner, I just, for some reason, I thought, you know, thinking of being pregnant and having this life growing inside of me, and this, you know, healthy life just kind of thriving, even through all of the ups and downs, to have a name that translates into a beautiful life would be really pretty. But of course, we found out it's not twins, so I won't be using it. But I do like Belle. I think that's really pretty for a girl, for a middle name. And then Ava. I think it's short and sweet. 3 letters, super easy. Nobody can butcher that or misspell it. So I think it's pretty easy. But together, if I had twin girls, Ava and Belle, I think would be pretty, again, because it means a beautiful life. So that's where I went with that. That one had a little bit more of a deeper meaning to it than any of the other names. So for middle names, I don't have a lot. I have one, which is the one that I have picked for my little girl to go with her name. And I think her name, it's beautiful. I love it. I've loved it since I heard it. And I'm going to do a name reveal. I don't know exactly when, if I'm going to post it before she's born or once she's here, so I can kind of introduce you to her, because I would love for you guys to be a part of that as well and kind of share that with you. So I think I might kind of reserve that video for her name reveal, and also introducing the newest member of the family. I can't wait to do that video. It's going to be so much fun. So I'm going to do a nursery tour. I'm in her nursery right now, and I will show you guys everything once it's done. I'm doing some final little touches. I think I'm going to have it done by the end of the month. But I won't show you one side of one wall in her room because it has a custom name sign. And I'm looking at it right now, and it looks so, so pretty. And I'm really excited to share with you guys. So that's why I'm not doing the middle names in this video, because I only have one, and it's hers. So, and it's pretty much set in stone. And everyone that's close to us knows her name, so hopefully none of them post anything in the comments and spoil it. I don't think that they would, but everybody that we know that's closest to us that has been told her name really loves it, and it's kind of funny, but nobody that we are really close with has ever met anybody with this name. So I think we've got a winner, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. So if you'd like, you can leave some baby name combos, first and middle names, or just names that you like, that you've heard of, maybe unique names. That way, you know, I can jot some of those down if I like some of them for future babies. And anybody who's watching who is expecting might get some ideas, possibly. And I do appreciate you spending some of your time here with me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell because there's more videos coming. Pregnancy related videos, my hospital bag, nursery tour, and just some other things, maybe some hauls of baby stuff and kind of showing you around her room and things that I've purchased. So if you're interested in seeing those videos, don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you get notified when those videos are posted. You can follow me on social media. I have Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. And hopefully I'll see you there. If not, have a fabulous day and I'll see you in my next video.